Hi everyone, my name is Maritza, and I am an emerging storyteller, so I got my notes right here. After they opened the Starbucks, I knew it was only a matter of time. Growing up, most of my quality time with my mom was spent walking, usually running errands. We would walk to and from school, grocery stores, thrift stores, doctor's appointments, and everything in between. It wasn't long before I memorized the neighborhood landscape, so yeah, we noticed the construction of the new Starbucks down the street. As I grew and changed over the years, so did my neighborhood. Every morning on my walk to middle school, I witnessed the progress of the construction workers who, under the hot sun, laid brick after brick to build the first condo on the street. And for those few seconds, I saw my father reflected in them and wondered if they too came to this country in search of the American dream, just like he'd done. I remember admiring the fruit of their labor on my walk back home for my last day of 8th grade. The fancy design and matte black finish looked out of place among the colorful family-style houses nearby, but nonetheless, I knew this condo was just one of many examples of how this country has been created and built by immigrants from all over the world. By the time high school came around, it was the family-style houses that looked out of place. The once family-oriented, predominantly working-class Latina neighborhood that brought me comfort and familiarity was rapidly changing and was now plagued with expensive apartments and fancy bars. It's such a bittersweet feeling every time I walk by a memory of what once was. Like the pizzeria under the Blue Line that used to be our neighborhood panaderia, the destination of countless Saturday morning walks with my mom. And while other people see Bang Bang Pie Shop, I see a family-owned convenience store where my sister, who was forced to step up financially too soon, would buy us and their siblings empanadas as an affordable dinner meal. And while others might see a dispensary, I see my childhood laundromat, where I admit I once was that annoying kid running around. But I was also a moody teenager there, and a few years later, it's where I made my first big girl purchase. Oh, and do you guys remember that polar vortex in 2019 where the wind chills plunged to like 50 below zero? Yeah. Guess where I was? Doing laundry. Latina moms can be so stubborn, even in a winter vortex. But now stepping foot inside that same building is a direct threat to my presence here in this country due to my status. It's crazy how 9 little numbers can truly make a world of a difference. All my life, I have called Logan Square my home, but despite living there for over a decade, I started to feel like I don't belong because I am not white enough to keep up with its evolution. It was around this time that I also felt that the college search put into spotlight the implication of my status. And so every day I would feel more and more out of my elements, more and more out of place. Maybe it was the stares that I would get from white people that made me feel like the ethnic other in my own neighborhood. Or maybe it was the imposter syndrome that was kicking my ass at that time that seemed to make everything impossible and out of reach. And so for a while, I felt angry, sad, hopeless, and everything in between. I was mad at the world, mad at the system, mad at my mom for not popping me out on this side of the border. But time truly does change it all, and I find comfort in the fact that my cultural roots will keep me grounded and give me courage to keep taking up space in this world unapologetically. But quite honestly, I'm still figuring out my place in this world, and despite it all, I am grateful to have witnessed all the stages of my neighborhood and be the keeper of its memories. Gentrification has stolen my childhood neighborhood, just as colonizers have stolen native land. And the pressure of assimilation threatens the survival of our culture, language, heritage, and forces us Latinos living on this side of the border to constantly walk the fine line of being entre aquí y allá. But despite it all, I stand before you today as a college graduate, despite and I'm committed to give back to my community in any way that I can. I know that I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, and I will continue to be. But I recognize that without the support of my family, I would not be where I am today. So special shout out to my sister, Papi, and my partner, Ozzy, for their continued love and support. I am so grateful for you both. And to my parents, for risking it all and leaving their homeland for a better quality of life, and to my mom especially for doing the best she could with what she had. Sus sacrificios eran, son y seguirán valiendo la pena. Thank you.